bonjour. After 2 long weeks, the UFC is finally back in Paris, of all places. Not the best card on paper, but the co-main and main are really damn good. And as always, plenty of money to be made. Let's get into it. First fight of the night, we got Patricio Pitbull taking on Losene Keita. So Pitbull is 37-8. That is 1-1 in the UFC. Keita is 16-1. This will be his UFC debut. Pitbull has lost 3 of his last 5 fights, but he is coming off that win over Denis. Keita has won 5 straight fights. Pitbull getting up there, 38 years old. Keita still just 27 years old. So I'm going to play it safe here. What I think is safe. Take the over 1.5 rounds. It's minus 425. I'm going to parlay it. I'll get to it as I go. Pitbull's hit it in 7 of his last 8 fights, and Keita's hit it in 6 of his last 8 fights. So I do think this one probably goes long. Little worried about Pitbull's chin against Keita's power, but, we'll see what happens here. I do like the over 1.5. If you guys are looking for anything else to take, how about Pitbull as the dog here? Plus 195. Twice the amount of pro wins as Keita has pro fights. He was already a reigning defending champion in Bellator when Keita made his pro debut. So, he's just been around killing it for a while now. This could be Keita's toughest opponent to date, and I just feel like it could be worth a flyer plus money. Pitbull did just cash his plus money against Denis too, so worth noting that. If you like the over, but you want a little extra off the top, take the over 2.5. It's minus 205. Pitbull's hit it in 7 of his last 8, and Keita's hit it in 2 of his last 4. And if you like Keita, take him by knockout, plus 300. 10 of his 16 pro wins have come by knockout, including 3 of his last 5, and Pitbull has been KO'd twice before. Next fight of the night was supposed to be Fares Ziam versus Caio Fernandes. Ziam is out due to injury. He's going to be replaced by the Cage Warriors featherweight champion, Harry Hardwick. Worth noting, this fight will be taking place at lightweight, given the short notice. Not sure if they're going to keep this fight on the main card, but for now, we'll pretend that they do. Fernandes is 10-2. That is 2-1 in the UFC. Hardwick is 13-3-1. This will obviously be his UFC debut, as I mentioned, coming over from Cage Warriors. Fernandes has won 4 of his last 5 fights. Hardwick has actually won 5 straight fights. Fernandes, 30 years old. Hardwick's age, way harder to find on the internet than it should be. Pretty sure he's 30 years old, but, it might be a year or 2 off. But, yeah, he's 30. We'll call it that. Guys, no lines yet available for this fight. They did just announce it today. Given the short notice, that makes sense. But here's a few props that, might be plus money, might be good parlay pieces. Either way, these are the props I like. The over 1.5. Fernandes has hit it in 2 of his last 3, and Hardwick has hit it in 6 of his last 8. So I do feel like this one could go a little longer. Short notice for Hardwick, little worrisome there. Fernandes, the UFC vet, but we'll see. If you like Fernandes, take him by finish, dude. 7 of his 10 pro wins have come by finish, and Hardwick has been finished before. I believe he's been subbed. Fernandes only 2 sub wins to his name, but that's 2 more. Let's go. Fucking sub him. Over 2.5 is another one I like. Fernandes has hit it in 4 of his last 7, and Hardwick has hit it in 6 of his last 8. So again, none of these have dropped yet, but some parlay pieces that I like in the future. Up next, we got Modestas Bukauskas taking on Paul Craig. Bukauskas is 18-6. That is 6-4 in the UFC across 2 stints. Paul Craig is 17-9-1 with 1 no contest. That is 9-9-1 with 1 no contest in the UFC. Bukauskas has won 3 straight fights. Paul Craig is winless in 4 straight and 6 of his last 7. Big rough stretch here for Paul. Bukauskas still just 31 years old. Paul Craig, 37 years old. So I'm going to take the very risky over 1.5 here. It's minus 130. Going to parlay it. I'll get to it as I go. Bukauskas has hit it in 6 of his last 8, and Craig's hit it in 3 of his last 5. So, I dabbled between should I take fight does not go the distance or the over, and I feel like at the end of the day, I could see this going the distance more than I could see it being a guaranteed finish. So, Paul Craig back against the wall, going to need a win here. Maybe he at least lasts a little longer, I hope. God. If you guys are looking for anything else to take, though, the aforementioned fight does not go the distance. It's minus 300, so definitely parlay it. 18 of Bukauskas' 24 pro fights have not gone the distance, and 25 of Craig's 28 pro fights have not gone the distance. That is 83% combined. For 80+%, and it's only minus 300, it's actually a great price for something that happens that often. But again, I just feel like it doesn't I feel like it could go the distance. That's it. Bukauskas by KO is minus 125, so you'd have to parlay it. 10 of his 18 pro wins have come by KO, and Craig has been KO'd 5 times before. And if you like Paul Craig, I mean, you got to throw a flyer on Paul Craig by sub, right? Plus 500. 13 of his 17 pro wins have come by sub, and Bukauskas has been subbed before, so it's definitely on the table. Up next, we got Bolaji Oki taking on Mason Jones. So Oki is 10-2. That is 2-1 in the UFC. Jones is 16-2 with 1 no contest. That is 2-2 with 1 no contest in the UFC across 2 stints. Oki has won 4 of his last 5 fights. Jones has won 5 straight. Oki, 29 years old. Jones, 30 years old. So I'm going to once again be taking the over 1.5 rounds here. It's minus 325. I'm parlaying it with the over 1.5 in Pitbull Keita and the over 1.5 in Bukauskas Craig. Those 3 together get me plus 186. I like that a lot. The 3-leg over 1.5 parlay. Let's go. Oki's hit it in 2 of his last 3, and Mason Jones has hit it in 8 of his last 9. So I like this one to go long. If you guys are looking for anything else to take, I do like Oki as the dog here, plus 130. He lands more strikes per minute, and he has good takedown defense. Jones is going to try and wrestle him here, but I feel like as long as Oki can stuff the takedown, I like his chances to get this fight done. Didn't want to take him officially, but if you guys are looking for anything else, live dog, I believe. The over 2.5, if you want a little extra off the top, is minus 150. Oki's hit it in 2 of his last 3, and Jones has hit it in 4 of his last 7. Fight end by KO is plus money, plus 130. Half of Oki's pro wins have come by KO, and majority of Jones's pro wins have come by KO. However, neither guy has been KO'd before, so it's obviously risky there. And if you like Mason Jones, take him by decision, plus 195. Only 6 of his 16 pro wins have come by decision, but both of his UFC wins came by decision, and Oki has lost by decision before. Co-main event, we got Benoit Saint Denis taking on Mauricio Ruffy. So BSD is 14-3. That is 6-3 in the UFC. Ruffy is 12-1. That is 3-0 in the UFC. BSD has lost 2 of his last 3, but he is coming off of a win. Ruffy has won 7 straight. 6 of those 7 coming by finish. Both these guys, 29 years old. I'm riding with Mauricio Ruffy moneyline here, minus 190. BSD was finished in 2 of his last 3. That one win in that span, he kind of looked like shit against a UFC debutant. Like, I don't think we can really trust this guy. Ruffy riding the momentum right now. He's going to have a 2-inch reach advantage, and he has 100% takedown defense. So as long as he can stuff the takedown here from Benoit, I feel like he could probably finish him. Riding with Ruffy, let's go. If you guys are looking for anything else, take the over 1.5 is minus 160. It's pretty risky, though. BSD has hit it in 4 of his last 5, and Ruffy has hit it in 3 of his last 5. Fight end by knockout, you'd have to parlay it. It's minus 180. 15 of their combined 26 pro wins have come by KO, and both guys have been KO'd before. Fight does not go the distance is minus 325, so you'd have to parlay it. 17 of BSD's 18 pro fights have knocked on the distance, and 12 of Ruffy's 13 pro fights have knocked on the distance. That is 94% combined. And if you like Benoit moneyline, I get it. He's plus 185. He's got more UFC experience. He lands more strikes per minute, and he's taken down 7 of his 9 UFC opponents. There's definitely a path for him to take down Ruffy here and possibly get the sub, so I get it. Main event, Nassourdine Imavov taking on Caio Borralho. Imavov is 16-4 with 1 no contest. That is 8-2 with 1 no contest in the UFC. Borralho is 17-1 with 1 no contest. That is 7-0 in the UFC. Imavov has won 4 straight fights. Borralho has won 14 straight fights. Imavov, 30 years old. Borralho, 32 years old. I mean, might as well take the Fighting Nerds parlay, right? Let's go. I'm taking Caio Borralho money line here, minus 115. Just mentioned it. Parlaying it with Mauricio Ruffy money line. Plus 185 for 2 Fighting Nerds in the co-main and main. I just love that parlay all day. Let's go. He's a good wrestler. Imavov was taken down in both of his UFC losses. Borralho also gets hit less often, and he's won 3 straight fights without even getting a takedown. So he's proven he can win without needing the takedown, but he also definitely has that in his back pocket. Against someone like Imavov, you're going to need that. If If you're looking for anything else, take the over 2.5, hefty price, minus 450. You'd have to parlay it, but both guys have hit it in 5 of their last 7. If you like Borralho, take him by sub. Only 4 of his 17 pro wins have come by sub, but he has a wrestling, smothering, heavy style, and Imavov has been sub before, so it's definitely on the table.
I'm worth 100,000 like Woodrow. When a ball call me Wilson, going overboard at the Hilton.